Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I am Liliana, Woman with a Vision. My message from God today is stop viewing people from one view. Stop viewing people and having a one-track mind of how you look at things. Just because you view something a certain kind of way or you do some things a certain kind of way, that doesn't mean that it's right. Stop judging people according to what they got on and how they look or whatever. Get to know a person first. Get to know a person first. God says stop judging people according to your own thoughts of how you feel like life should be or how you feel a person should be. Get to know people. Stop viewing things only from your view. That doesn't mean that it's right. Just because you were taught to be a certain kind of way, that doesn't make it right. That's just the way that you were taught. That's just the way that's the choice that you choose to be that way. That's your choice. Be careful of how you treat people. Because you can only view things in one way, one track mind. And it may change the way or alter the way that you treat people. That alters the way that you treat people because you only viewing people in one way. And it changes the way you view people. You may be very judgmental towards people and don't even realize it because you think that people are going to be the way that are supposed to be like you. No two people on the face of this earth are the same. Nobody. So nobody is going to be exactly like you. People aren't going to dress according to how you feel like they should dress. People aren't going to talk the way that you feel, according to the way that you feel like they should talk. Everybody is different. God made us all different for a reason. And just because you believe in something, that does not mean that everybody else is going to believe in what you believe in. Stop being one-sided. Excuse me. Stop mistreating people because you feel like that's the only way people are supposed to live their life. That's not true. God is a good God. And he allows certain people to be able to view things from different standpoints. And what I mean by that is you can be in a room that got 5 windows, but you only see one view. And it's 4 other views, but you only see one view. That's how some people live their life. That's how some people think. They only view things one way because they feel like their way is the only way. There's no other way to live life. And they end up mistreating people because they feel like this is the only way that things are supposed to be. It's the way that I know this is the way it's supposed to be. But that might not work for everybody else because everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own path. Everybody is not going to be like you. Everybody ain't going to dress like you. And that does not give you no reason to be judgmental towards people because you end up running people away. I understand why some people don't go to some churches and stuff. It doesn't give them no reason because you got to realize that people are human, just like you. They got issues and things that they battling with just like you. They got addictions and everything. Just because they go to church and they believe in God, that don't mean that they don't live life. It doesn't give them an excuse to mistreat nobody, though. It doesn't give them no excuse to mistreat anyone. It really doesn't. But sometimes people are just stuck in their ways. This is the way that it's supposed to be. And if you're not doing it like this, you're the devil. You got a bad mind. Something wrong with you. Ain't nothing wrong with you, and you don't have a bad mind. I just don't view life the way that you view it. I just don't mistreat people according to what they got on, or what color their hair is, or how they dress. I just don't view people in that way. That doesn't mean that I have a bad mind. I just don't view things the way you view it. You can't go around saying that everybody got a bad mind just because they don't look at life the way you look at it. You know, sometimes we need to do a self-reflection, because that alters how we treat people, of what we've been taught and what we think is right sometimes alters how we treat people. Not everybody, but it alters how you treat people. And you end up offending people because of the way that you think. Your one-track, one-sided mind, and you end up offending people. A person was telling me a story about an organization or something that they was helping. They were helping people. Some people came up to the organization to get help. They do like a food pantry, and they have giveaways and stuff, like school supplies when school starts. And they do like, I'm so hoarse. And they do food drives. Food drives, food drives and different things like that for the community. And the person was telling me how the people came up and they were saying that they had a large family, but all the members of the family wasn't with them. And they didn't believe the people. They didn't believe the person. And I know this person, and I know they didn't come off being nice. And the people got offended. The people got totally offended because they were like, why are you treating us like this? They literally had to prove to the person that they had this size family that they were saying that they had. And they were able to prove it. Not the person standing up there looking stupid because you didn't already judge these people before you could even hear their story. Now the people upset. They ended up getting a little loud, getting a little angry or whatever, because they judged them. And the people end up going to the person that was over the organization and telling them, you know, we don't like the way that this person treated us. And the outcome from that was the person that mistreated the people or whatever, they sat them down. They told them that they couldn't do certain things anymore because they don't know how to treat people. And I'm going to say that this probably wasn't the first time that someone came and said this person mistreated them, because I know this person. They one of them person. They only view things their way. They judge people according to what they got on. Maybe let me tell you something. If you come around this person and you got on a certain outfit, they will make you feel like you the scum of the earth because you dressed a certain kind of way. But I understand why this person is the way that they are, because they're insecure about themselves. If you wear something that they probably can't wear because they got afflictions to their body or something like that, they'll say, you know, or they're not comfortable with wearing something like that, they'll say, oh, your dress too tight. Oh, look at your dress too short. That's too short. You showing too much. Because they can't. It's not that this person really has a problem with what you got on. It's because they're insecure about who they are. They always think that people are lying. And I know that's the reason why those people got offended, because their attitude be bad. When they see people, if they dress a certain kind of way, or maybe a person may be having a bad day, or they just got off work, they might have their work clothes on. And, you know, some people work outside. They may not be, you know, all that well put together. They look them up and down and frown their nose up at them and everything. I've been seeing this person for who they was. I've been seeing them down. I never said nothing because, hey, that's on you. When you mistreat people, I don't have to pay for you mistreating somebody. You got to pay for that. You know you wrong. And that's why they sat you down and said you can't do nothing else, because you wasn't treating them people right. When the people came up there to get help, these people coming because they needed help. And this person told me the story once, and they told me a little bit. Then they told me the story again, and I was listening, and I was like, I knew right off the bat The second time they told me the story that they had offended the people, because I've seen them mistreat people. And if you point out to them that they do it, they're swept down. No, I didn't. You just, yes, you are. That's why them people at that church sat you down. It was a church. That's why them people at that church sat you down, because that's probably not the first time you done mistreated somebody. Sometimes you need to do a self-reflection in the mirror. And self-reflect and say, is it me? If everybody is getting offended by you and people don't like you, you need to do a self-reflection and be like, is there something wrong with me? Now people are starting to see you for who you really are. And you're not a good person. You're not a good person for being like that. Be careful of how you treat people. You're not the only person that believes in God. You're not the only God's child. We all are God's children. And you got to be careful how you treat people. I don't know who this message is for, but if someone has offended you or treated you wrong or judged you before they got to get to know or get to know you, know that God is protecting you and he is keeping you safe. I felt sorry for them people, but I also felt sorry for that person because they know not what they do and they refuse to change. They said that they ain't do nothing wrong. They really in their mind, because they're so one-sided and they only see life one way. They really don't think that they did nothing wrong. They don't think that they did anything wrong. That person that was telling me the story, I don't feel like, well, you was wrong. When you going to admit that you was wrong, you know you was wrong, right? You know you was wrong. Just pray for I just pray for people who think that their way is the only way. I was listening to a message Sunday, and the message was, just because you do things a certain kind of way, or you were taught to do things a certain kind of way, that doesn't make it right. A lot of times we be wrong as ever, but we think we so right. Get to know God on your own. Ask God to reveal things to you for yourself. Even though you may go to church and you may get a message, seek God on certain situations. Seek God for yourself and say, Lord, am I doing things right? Show me if I'm not being right. Put me in my place so that I can be able to treat people better or treat people good and not treat people wrong. Because I'm so one track. I got a one-track man. Allow me to see things from a different view. There's some people that's walking around with their eyes wide open physically, but closed spiritually. They can't see nothing else but they way that they were taught. You know, be careful of sitting under people teaching you things. And you sit up under them so long, you think that they right. And then the moment that you step away from them, people start to reject you wherever you go. Because what you've been taught wasn't right. And some people are taught that they better than people. I went to the church growing up as a child, and it's almost like they don't say it, but they almost teach you that you're better than people. You know, I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. But that does not give you a reason to treat somebody just because you don't do the things that other people in the world do. That does not give you a reason to mistreat them. Let me tell you something. Most people in churches, they run people away. Because as soon as they come to church, they dress a certain kind of way. They looking at them, they frowning their nose up. Oh, your hair shouldn't be this color. Oh, they got on earrings. Oh, they ain't got no stockings on. Or they shoes, they got on open-toed shoes. They can't wear that. That's the kind of church that I grew up in. Let me tell you something. It is 2025. The fact that a person had the mind, or God placed it on them, made man to come to church, I don't care what you got on. I don't care what you got on. I don't care how you look. The fact that you walked in them doors means that you came here for a reason, and I know you came here because you needed some help in some area in your life. And whatever I can do to assist you or help you or encourage you, say whatever, I'm going to do it because that's what God has given me to do. That's what God expects of us. He don't expect us to judge people and run people away. See, like that person that sat there, they ran that person away. Them people needed help. That's what the churches is for. Most churches, they help people in the community. Not judging them and treating them wrong because you think they lied, because they might have smelled like a little alcohol. Okay, everybody ain't perfect. Everybody ain't walking up in church being 100% perfect. The fact that they're there is the most important thing. And guess what? God expects you to be a certain kind of way, to treat them a certain kind of way. You're responsible. When they walk through them doors and you're a member of whatever organization, church, whatever it is, now you're responsible for them. Yeah. And guess what? The moment you decided to snarl your nose up and mistreat them, guess what? You failed your test. Now you got to start all over again because you failed. And you should be happy that God is a forgiving God and that He forgives us even when we wrong. God is so good, even when we do wrong, and that He'll allow us to see who we really are. But you got to accept it. Everybody's seeing what you are, but you ain't even, everybody is seeing that you're not doing right, except for you. You playing the victim, knowing that you was offensive to people, knowing that you hurt them people's feelings. And they was coming there because they needed some help. You probably needed some help one day. Imagine how you feel going somewhere and you need some help and somebody don't believe you or they treating you bad. And then on top of that, it's a church too. Oh, I could just imagine. But God is so good. Be mindful of how you treat people. I don't have to pay for you if you do wrong. You got to pay for that yourself. God said vengeance is His. What goes around comes around. Careful of how you treat people, and then people sit there and wonder why things be happening in their life. Gossiping, talking about people before you get to know them. You looking at the material things, what people got on. Don't worry about all that. The fact that you are in that person's presence, or God allowed you to be where they were at the same time, matters much. That means that God got something for you to do. That's how you look at it. That's how you view it. I am Liliana, woman with the vision. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, for listening to that message today. It really touched me because I hate to see people get mistreated. I can't stand it. I will always say something. That's my number one thing. I can't stand that because you're no better than nobody else. You're no better than nobody else. Just because you may have more material things or you know more than one person, that doesn't make you better than the other person. And be careful of how you treat people. Be careful of how you treat people. And remember, God loves you. And I love you too. Go be blessed and make sure you treat somebody good today. All right?